What's up, Scorpions? Akai Sasori here, and I have come to let you know about a show that I didn't think I was going to like, but apparently it's a damn good show. We're looking at Goliath with Billy Bob Thornton, whom I never liked until this show. So hopefully this review would be worth something for everybody that's curious about that kind of TV show. So let's jump right in. So, Goliath, Season 1. Now, this show that Billy Bob Thornton had starred in, he's a washed-up, alcoholic, divorced sort of type of lawyer, and he's pretty down and in the dumps. You know, like his life isn't going the right way. The people around him continuously look down on him for how he handles his own life. But a fellow lawyer, I guess, comes and finds him, locates him, and asks him if he wants to help her with this wrongful death suit. And I guess he couldn't say no because somebody was asking for his help and needed to prove something to himself. But as this moves on, the wrongful death suit is actually towards his old law firm, the one that he was a named partner in. And I'm assuming that the divorce caused this, his drinking, doing a lot of wrong things in the law scene. And so basically he, is going about observing his own life as it is, and it's not really much. He lives out of a hotel, and the bar is right next door. He's pretty much point A to point B, and once this lawsuit drops on him, he decides to take it, obviously, and with he has the help of the lawyer that came to him, but at the same time he has a friend that is a prostitute / escort, whatever the word would be. And basically this is so far starting his team to try to build a case for this wrongful death suit. Now the suit itself, it was a boating company, I think it was a boating company, and it blown up, and it turned out to end up being a client's prototype of the ones that the lawsuit is for. So, and that's the Cooperman McBride law firm. That that alone is pretty intense. The mood of the entire show, it's not slow as in motion, but it's deep. Like it lets you try to figure out what the actor's feeling before the actor expresses that feeling, and the show is really deep and intuitive on a level that, no matter what the problem is with people, there's still things that'll arise and test us, And so, this is part of it. And, the whole time that he's trying to navigate through his life, he's basically, coming to terms with the fact that his life is shit. And, this is probably a good way to redeem at least himself, if not get back in the good graces of the, the law world, the lawyer world. So he's basically, trying to figure out how to incorporate his life into this lawsuit against his old firm, and all this without trying to hit rock bottom, I guess. So, Billy Bob Thornton as an actor, he's got longevity, he's got experience and all, but in my opinion, he played the same part in all those movies, which it would take the movie to wrap around his own behavior and his own acting, whatever that may be. I mean, it would blow my mind if he ended up not being the jerk or the asshole that he's perceived to be. Um, it's just him. Um, but in this show, I don't know why, but it works. It as much as I don't like him as an actor, really as anything, he's just a person with a weird name. He portrayed this show in a way that was raw, and I think that is what Billy Bob Thornton is as a person. He's a raw person, and because of that rawness and the mood and the level that this show was produced and directed in, it really is the perfect fit for a show for a personality like his. At least the personality that he shows. Now, all the other actors, they're well placed. They're where they're supposed to be. There's not too much extra. There's not too much dragging or whatever these original TV shows that are on these apps have. Most of them drag on and on and on without getting anywhere. And ultimately, this show, the whole first season, from what I understand, is built around this one case. So it's not bouncing around and leading you into dead-end, nothing roads. Like this show has meaning. And the meaning goes throughout the entire season. First season. And, it shocked me. I mean, it shocked me. The first episode really shocked me. I forgot I wasn't watching a movie. I forgot it was a TV show. And because of that, added that WTF effect, and so basically with the way that the show is shot at a camera side of it, there's a lot of pannings, there's a lot of zooms, there's a lot of zeroing in on a certain point off of the main focus. Like, there's a lot of creativity behind the way that it was shot, and I feel like I can see that. And because I can see that, I'm going to acknowledge it. That's how it works. But damn good show so far. Just the first season alone is freaking amazing. So I wrote notes. I wrote a couple notes to kick off the explanation of this show. As we jump into episode 2, and I did watch it. I had to take notes because I have trouble remembering the important parts along with the non-important parts, the stuff that you're actually watching. So far in this second episode, he's scrambling to find an opening to get the wrongful death suit into federal court. So basically, he's building his case. Okay, he's trying to interview witnesses, track down evidence, analyze or scan files, things like that. Have all that shit looked at. And the problem is Donald Cooperman. His ex-named partner, and he wants to stick it to him because his name is on the freaking suit. So it's like, because McBride is on the suit that's coming up against the Cooperman firm and his client that had something to do with the boat explosion. It was almost an offense to him. Now, Donald Cooperman, he almost seems like your textbook villain, like the textbook genius. He sits in the dark. He's this, his face is mangled from an explosion, I guess. Looks like a burn. And, he's the textbook villain for the most part. And so with this aspect, with Billy McBride being what he is, who he is, not belonging in the world of right and not belonging in the world of wrong, this makes for a good battle, especially on the law sense. Now now as McBride is doing all this, he's basically gathering evidence, interviewing certain witnesses that the company, the law firm, did not want. Cooperman did not want him digging. So Cooperman decides to put certain obstacles out there for McBride to run into to kind of upheave him, to shovel him, and basically scare him. It was textbook mafia fear factor. It was straight up, put weight on him. Okay, so, McBride being McBride, being the jerk that he is, being the person that's probably got his ass kicked a few times, says, okay, this just makes it happen even that much more. It's time to go now because he did this. There was a few things that he did, but it all led to his client being killed after a motion was put in to look at the case. And so once his lawyer, or once the client was ran over by a vehicle, that was pretty much where he decided, because I think he actually liked the girl. You'll see. And just getting his case to come to light was a real bad way of stepping to this Cooperman guy, and he made the point. We know he did it. So all this is the last straw, and because this is all the last straw, I think McBride he's gone all the way. I mean, his life is shit anyways. Why not? But hey, what can you do? So episode 3 goes into the fact that McBride's team, with a new addition, starts to give in to the pressures of the lawsuit. His team is starting to get thrown off. The prostitute is stuck on drugs and partying or whatever the hell, and yet she's being evicted. It's just weird. The lawyer that asked him to help, she's basically just looking for a settlement, and just wants to close it and plead. When in reality, when justice is concerned, you got to go with good all the way. If you're going to walk in the truth, you have to walk all the way with the truth, which is farther than most people are willing to go. And so that was pretty much where he stood as far as let's get this shit together. So last ditch effort. He decides to take this redemption, vengeance, if you want to call it, to prove that he's still in it and he's still better than everybody, I guess. So with them being in court and all, the judge that's evaluating this case is basically paid off. I mean, there's nothing else to really say. He's paid off, and the guy doesn't even have the incentive. He just got told. So, he's basically making this case hard for McBride in the courtroom, and he gets called out on it, because why not? If you walk in the truth, you better go all the way. Don't fucking ignore shit. So, he takes one last swing to the stands to get his case accepted by the courts. And, now's federal court coming, and, he made it through it. He got past the bribe. He put so much light on it that he got contempt. And he didn't give a shit because he wasn't doing anything wrong. So, that's pretty much in a nutshell. And this is the vague version. This is the vague version. I don't care much about spoilers, but I'm not going to tell you the entire show script by script. I could probably do something like that, but I'm not. I'm not. And so, that was episode 3. And, it's a damn good show. So just at least get the first 3 episodes out just to see the momentum, because the momentum does pick up really fucking fast. Really fast. So with this show, and with Billy Bob Thornton and his crew of agents to help him win this case against probably the biggest law firm in the city of, I don't know the city, but I know it's in California. And that's pretty much the gist of the show. And I recommend anybody to watch it, whether you care about law movies or, I know I don't care much about law. I mean, I watched Suits, that one TV show on USA. I watched Suits, loved it, but it wasn't really that truthful. It was truthful, especially when somebody did something wrong within the show and somebody within the show corrected them on it as far as a law sense. Like Suits was on that par, but Goliath, this show is definitely, this is a strict show. This show is strict and it's not easy to swallow. And, I recommend it to everybody because honestly, it shows the extent of human nature. That's it. That's the only reason I could say that I really like this show. And because of that, I'm gonna watch it because, hey, self-awareness is the key whether you like it or not.
Awakened Healing has chakra bracelets. To harness your power, you may need a little help.
Yeah, so we got my Spider-Man silicone bowl packed. Got some key fashion there. I don't know if you can see it. You see it? Whatever. Anyways, so yeah. We're going to discuss these. We got chakra bracelets on hand, on deck. Tiger eye wrapped. I love this bracelet. And honestly, when I have dealt with minerals and stones in the past, I noticed that when they actually started to engage with the body that they're connected to, it almost feels like there's like sand in your bloodstream. Like you can feel the friction of whatever it was before the bracelet to whatever it is when the bracelet's, connected. And I know this works, and I know it does because I can feel it, not because I have to believe or I have faith. No, it has nothing to do with that. This bracelet just works. I don't know if it's my nature, my astrological symbolism, but yeah, I'm not taking this off anytime soon. So I highly recommend you get with me and try to snag one of these. We got very few Tiger's Eye left, so I literally bought this one for myself because it's beautiful. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I never had one before, so I'm consider the excitement. Anyways, yeah, we're going to try this Keith hash out in this Spider-Man bowl. Yeah. So I guess you can go get these at, or at least connect with me to get these at on OfferUp. That is under Awakened Healing. That's what you're looking for. That yin yang dual scorpion, red and black, and that's just how things work. When we want to live in a place of peace, we have to understand the healing aspect and the pain aspect. And there's a lot of things that people can do. Some people have stigmas that stop them from releasing the pain that they feel, but the whole point It's to feel that pain, to understand that it's there, and to actually move it. Just move it out of the way. So, I mean, my feet are always in pain. Call it neuropathy, call it whatever you want, but I am not really a grounded person, you know. Very creative, very abstract thinking. I'm not really the type to fixate on something simply because it's fact. I'll fixate on something when it's the truth, and when something that didn't verbalize it out of their mouth flows through me enough for me to hear something. But that's how it works for me. You know, I hear things inside myself that come to a truth that is true. I don't know. It's not really fact, but it's definitely the truth of how things are and how they ever been. So yeah, it's healing is important, and I wish you all the best of healing. You know what I mean? Like, whoosh.
That's how it works. That's how it works. You know, these hands are important.
I'll leave a link somewhere because I know YouTube ain't gonna do it for me. But I'll leave a link so y'all can try to find this. And you know, check me out on my social media on Instagram under Kaisasari56. Check out my Facebook, see what I'm thinking, because I'll write it there at the Kaisasari also. And yeah, stay tuned for further broadcasting. Later.